Hi, this is another instrument for aircraft. This time it is a modern instrument. It is a TCAS and a vertical speed indicator. So the model is IVA 81D. This was manufactured in 2001 by Honeywell. So on the front we have an LCD display. On the right there is a knob for the luminosity of the display. There is also a photo cell which permits to adapt the luminosity according to the ambient light. There is a push button here, TA selection. This one is protected by some stickers here. So I have connected some wires on the rear to test this instrument. There are several inputs for this instrument. One input here is the static pressure. We have on this rear connector two ARINC 429 inputs also, which can be selected. There is also one input according to ARINC 575, which is a DC voltage. And there is another possibility, is the ARINC 565, which is an AC signal. It is possible to select among these inputs by placing some jumpers. This is what I did between the ground here and one of the input selection here. This instrument is supplied by 115 volts AC between these two lines in blue. I have also connected this switch in order to activate the self-test of this instrument. And today I have my assistant, Josette. Josette, say hello to the camera. She is shy. I didn't find too much information on internet on this thing, but I have found a documentation which is the maintenance manual of the CAS 100 collision avoidance system. And this instrument is a part of this complete system. There are some information about this system, but not a lot. The only thing I have on this document is the pinout of the rear connector, and I have also a description of the pinout of this connector. As you can see, there are 9 terminals for the configuration. Actually, the configurations depends on the version of this instrument. This document refers to the IVA 81A and B, but I have the latest one. I have the D version. There is also in this document a small table which gives the configuration according to the input you want. So for example, you have the input pneumatic, so you need this configuration. But actually I have tested this configuration and it doesn't work. This is the configuration for the IVA 81AB, but I have the version D and it seems that the configuration is different. So I have tested different configuration and I have found the configuration which permits to activate the pneumatic. I didn't find the other configurations which permits to select the ARINC 575 or 565, nor the ARINC 429. Currently I just have the pneumatic input, but it is enough to test this thing. This instrument permits to display the vertical speed, and there are also 2 different screens for the TCAS. Also, I bought this thing from eBay at a very low price. We can find it on eBay at various prices. Generally, the cost is between 500 euros and 2,000 euros, even if it is not tested, or sometimes with some default on the screen. So I bought this thing for, I don't remember, 20 or 30 euros, which is, I think, a very good price. This instrument seems to be in good condition. So let's turn on the power supply. Okay, so you can see that this instrument is on the vertical speed mode. It is possible to simulate a descent or a climb by applying a small pressure on the input port inlet on the rear of this instrument. So I will use just my finger. So if I press a little bit, I will increase the internal pressure on the sensor. So this will simulate a descent of this instrument because the pressure is higher when the altitude is lower. Okay. and I can decrease the pressure. Okay, and this will simulate a climb. It is also possible to activate the self-test. So I don't remember if I have to restart the instrument or not. No. So you can see here the self-test with the complete test of the graphic display. We can see on the circumference of the scale, the circle in red and in green. In normal situation, a part of the scale will be in green and the other part in red, and the pilot has to climb or to descend in order to be in the green position. This situation appears when there is a risk of collision with another aircraft. And of course, what is in green here is in red on the other aircraft and vice versa. And of course, the pilot has to follow the indication of the resolution advisory. We can see the resolution of the display. It is quite good. After this quick test, let's open this thing to see what is inside. This is it. It is a little bit difficult. Maybe this is caused by this. It is possible. Okay, I have succeeded to remove this cover. And this is a quick overall look. So first we can see this capacitor. I have never seen a capacitor like that. So this is a 120 microfarad, 400 volts. You can see some inductors. And this seems to be a common mode shock here. So this is maybe a filter. I don't know what is this thing. I cannot see the terminals. Ah, okay, this is the transformer. This is a high frequency transformer, so for the power supply, and the windings actually are performed on the PCB. I will try to remove this flat cable to have a better view on this thing. Okay, you can see clearly the tracks of this transformer. So this is just the ferrite core, and the windings are done here by the tracks on the PCB itself. So this should work at high frequency. So let's remove this board. Then you can see something strange. This wire in red seems stuck between this PCB and this one here. It seems quite difficult. Actually, the PCB seems a little bit too long, so it is inserted by force. It's difficult to see, but it seems that it is a little bit bent. And you can see clearly here. You can see that in the middle there is a small gap. And now it is very difficult to remove, and it is not good for the PCB to have such force on each side. I hope it is not the case for all PCBs. So what I will do is that I will remove a little bit this screw, which permits to have a little play with this plate here. But I'm not sure that I can remove this screw also. It is difficult. I'll try to remove this one. It is impossible to remove this screw. I don't know what to do. It is very difficult. It is stuck. So mechanically, it is not a success, I think. There is something which was not calculated correctly. You can see that this thing is bent. I don't know how to proceed. I'll take 5 minutes to find a solution. It seems impossible to remove this board. I think that at least 2 or 3 tenths of millimeters are missing between these two plates here, or at least on the length of this bar, which permits to set the distance between these two plates. But it's possible to remove this one, for example. So let's start with this one. Okay, so this is a dual-sided board. So there is a conformal coating. You can see the reflection of the light. It is a little bit annoying. So this is a digital board, obviously. So there is an FPGA here, an Alteraflex. And I cannot see this one. This one seems to be a processor. Yes, this is a 68332 32 bits processor. This is a crystal with a little shield on the top. This should be a static RAM, probably. Difficult to see with the conformal coating. I don't know if I will find a suitable orientation. And on the other side, we have another crystal, an oscillator. Try to remove this one. This one seems also difficult to remove. There is a hole here to insert a tool, but not on the other side, because this board is full of SMD parts on the other side. So we have a very nice capacitor here, 2.2 microfarad, 500 volts. We have another inductor here made with the PCB tracks. So this is just a ferrite. We have a silver red mica capacitor. I cannot read the reference of this part, but it is very thick. This is maybe an optocoupler. Yes, and it should be because there are 6 terminals. And we can see also this nice capacitor. So this is SMDs, which are stacked together. So there is a pair of capacitors. And this is 10 microfarads, 50 volts. There is a toroidal inductor here. So this seems to be a power supply, at least on this area here. Some parts are not populated. And there are also 2 adjustments. I cannot read the references also on these 2 parts. Due to the light reflection, it is very difficult. So this part is an ADC, probably 1015. And this part's also very difficult to read. I don't know if it will be better on the camera. We'll see after on the video. I will try to remove this bar. Okay, because actually now this thing is not stuck anymore, so probably should be able to remove this screw maybe. Okay, fantastic. So probably this thing was mounted at the end. So now it's okay. So fantastic. So on this side there are a few passive parts and some op-amps. And you can see on the other side we have this thin film resistor array. So this is close to this part, which is a Burr-Brown ENA something. So this is probably a differential amplifier. I cannot see the reference. I will see after, and I will add the datasheet if I can read on the video the reference of this part. There is also this analog devices, AD7864 it seems. And we have an ADG 527. So this is maybe a multiplexer or something like that. So there is another Burr-Brown below the AD7514. I cannot read. It should be possible to remove the first board, I think. Yes, so you can see this nice coil or transformer, I don't know. Maybe a transformer. It seems we have intermediate points here, but I'm not sure. There are some bodges here, this is strange. There is a bodge here also. There is also this bodge here, and some transistors and all other parts are not populated. Okay, and there is a board on the rear, which permits to have the contacts on the rear connector, and also there is this bridge rectifier, so obviously for the input AC voltage. And there is this small connector, so this is maybe either something which permits the auto test or some test during the production, so maybe also the programming of the FPGA or something. This is maybe a JTAG interface, I don't know. And the sensor is inside this thing, so it is very small. There is a big contrast between this thing and the old systems with the capsules and the servo control loop and all the gears. This was a small test and the teardown of this TCAS and vertical speed indicator from Honeywell, model IVA81D. This is the modern instrument. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.